Good afternoon, YouTube. Victory is mine. Yep. Okay, so what happened? Well, they gave me yet another insulting offer. they had left a message on my phone because I was out hunting at the time, so I'm not going to answer my phone deer hunting. Anyway, they said $300, best we can do, or return the computer. Well, that's a better offer than the first offer, but it still ain't good enough, sorry. Um, so I came in early from hunting because I'm getting sick. I got a cold somehow. It's been hot as a freaking hell outside. Now it's cold as ice. Anyway, so I called, left a message, call me back. So he calls me back the following day. And I said, well, I got to be honest with you here. You've already verified, of course, on the phone recordings at year end that I was told multiple times 30 payments. So you're bound to that. As per always, my accounts have always worked that way, and I've been dealing with you for years, obviously. But you said, as a valued customer, we're going to offer you $300 instead, or return the computer. And it's like, no. See, valued customer, you actually give him what he's supposed to have, 30 freaking payments, okay? None of this bullshit. And I said, dude, let me try and explain to you a little bit, okay? Because I'm pretty sure you have no clue who I am, right? He says, nope. I said, let's keep it that way. So let me give you a little bit of an indication, though. We go into court right now with just your voice recordings, because now you can't delete them, because now I have you recorded that you admitted you listened to them, and I'm right. Okay, so you can't even destroy them now. You are so screwed now, okay? So I said, the judge will look at that and go, he's right, you're in the wrong, you told him this. He also doesn't have a contract that he ever filled out saying 44 payments is what he agreed to, and he didn't. Okay, we have a summary and that's it. He's trying to say I signed a contract agreeing to 44. Never have I. If I would have seen a contract saying 44 months, I would have stopped it right there and said, screw this, no way in hell. Okay, that's a lot of freaking money. Not happening. So, and he still tried to argue that where I could send you a copy. Yeah, well, if my signature's on there, that's fraud. It's fraud. If I agreed to 44 payments without my knowledge, that's called fraud. So if you have my signature there, that's fraud. Okay? I signed my signature for the application thing, which would be a copy of my summary. That's fine, but yeah, contract, we've never had those. Okay? We just get told, this is how many payments you have from the verification department. That's what they've always been. Until the MacBook Air bullshit, now this, no, we are finished, done, finito. You are going to fix this, or we're going to court. That's all there is to it, and you're definitely going to lose. Just on one item. Never mind everything else I've got on you. I said, come back with a better offer. Click! Okay, so he finally did call back, and he said, how does this sound? 300 off, and he said, how about 34 payments? Does that help? Instead of 44, 34. I said, 34. 34. Yeah. You're sure it's going to be 34? 34. Yes, sir. You're sure? Yes. Hang on. I'm going to bring my wife in here. I'm going to tell her the same thing you just told me. Because this is recording. He knows I'm recording him, which gives me more evidence in case things go sideways. So, I guess they figured out a little bit of who they're dealing with. A little bit. Okay? Enough that they're like, we got to solve this or we're in shit. Anyway, so my wife comes in and I said, tell her the same thing he did, blah, blah, blah. And he said, is that doable for you? 300 off, 34 payments. He said, so just to skip over a bit, he says, what happens is when we take $300 off the principal, it reduces your amount owing so we can cut back 10 payments worth of interest, which is over $1,200, guys, okay, of interest. And I'm just thinking to myself, you couldn't have said that in your friggin' voice message, because they weren't offering that at the time. They were just going to take $300 off and still nail me 44 payments, because That's what it was until I told him, come back with a better deal, because that's bullshit. I says, we're going to dance. If this comes to it, we're going to dance. I says, I'm done with this crap. Okay? And so anyways, I said, okay, you're going to make 4 extra payments worth of interest. That's fine. I'm going to save a lot of money by not hauling your ass into court and fighting for that money back, plus getting my justification for this, which could take God knows how long to get into a courtroom. And I have to put up the initial fees, which I'd be countersuing you for all legal fees and court costs. So, of course, I get to represent myself, which is fantastic. So I said, you know what? Let's do the 34, because until I see the change in my account, by the way, you're not getting a dime, because I'm never going to agree to 44, because I know it's legal and binding as soon as I make a payment on an account that says 44. So anyway, I says, I'm not an idiot. So he says, your accounts will be changed by tomorrow morning. He says, log in. That's today. Your accounts will read 34, and you'll be credited back to 300. So I checked my accounts. Everything's clean. So I'm going to keep an eye on my accounts too. I'm not stupid. I'm going to check them every couple of days between now and the end of the month. So once the first payment comes out, yeah, everything's good. So I don't know why I had a problem with the error with this kind of bullshit. I certainly don't know why again. But he did assure me that the staff are under investigation that are involved in this, and it'll be dealt with accordingly to whatever they do. I says, while you're at it, give them some new retraining, okay? Because you can't lock somebody into a contract that they've never even seen. You can't say that they signed a contract that they never actually signed agreeing to those ludicrous payments. Because I never would have signed the contract agreeing to 44 payments if I saw 44 payments. And we've never, in fact, had contracts given to us ever in all the years we've dealt with you guys. We've just, filled out the application, we get the approval, the verification side calls us, verifying all the info, we ask how much the payments are per month, and we ask how many payments we have, and that's what it's always been. In fact, even my last 3 recent accounts, which were all last year, two personal loans, as well as a freezer with you guys, and the same thing went down. They told me over the phone through the verification office how many payments I have, what they are, and it's been fine. Now all of a sudden, I want to buy another computer and I'm getting screwed over again. You need to fix this bullshit quick, because this is not going to be happy again, okay? So, anyhow, that's the end result. We win. Get yourself some knowledge when it comes to dealing with companies like this, okay? I'm not saying MDG is bad for this, because I don't think they are. This is the second time in a row ever. We've been dealing with their company for God knows how long, way too long to remember. And we've never had a problem before, right? So they should be resolving this issue now. And I don't know how many other people in the meantime have been stung by the particular employees in these sections of their company since this fiasco started even 4 months ago, okay? So, and I don't know how long it's been going on for, but it's coming to an end that, yeah, they need to straighten out their company and their team, and train them right and get shit done properly, so that it doesn't happen again. Because they could have found, they know they could have found themselves in a lawsuit with me. I would have won hands down, okay? And they damn well know it, okay? And they do not want to enter a courtroom with anybody, okay? So they were fine on this, all right? So just make sure that stuff is what it's supposed to be before you even make a first payment, just in case something does go wrong, like anything can. But it's not just this. It's when you buy something brand new, right? You go into Best Buy. Oh, look, a red sticker. Oh, it's on sale for $174, regular $3 1/4. You go to the cash, you go to pay for it, and they want the full price. It's like, no, the sticker says different. Well, then they got to send somebody to grab the sticker. Oh, yeah, that sale was off like, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Just somebody forgot to remove the tag. So, your point is, the law says in this country, you must honor that price tag. Because that's the one that I saw. That's the one that was fastened to the shelf. You must honor it. And they know they have to, otherwise they could end up in court over that. You could sue them and you would win hands down, just like that, okay? Retail law is a pretty serious thing in this country. I had to learn it when I owned a business, but I went to law school when I was younger, okay? And I learned a lot of different sections of the law, not just retail stuff. So it comes in handy to have the knowledge base. Knowledge is power, and power is on your side when you have the correct knowledge and you know how to use it, okay? So that's another thing. And you know what? There's a lot of people every day, they're gullible, or they're just, for some reason, they just don't want to fight it. They don't want the stress. So they take it up the rear, and they shouldn't, but they do anyways. Well, you got to stop doing that, okay? Start standing up for your own rights when something gets screwed over, okay? You have rights, learn them, use them, and be happier instead of stressed out all the time. I didn't have to flip out on these guys at any one point in time, okay? Yes, I did threaten the courts on them, rightly so. I have a solid case against them, okay? And they knew it, and they finally buckled, because they also knew I wasn't going to be a little pansy and lay down and take it. Oh, $300? Well, that's better than $100. Sure, I'll take it. No, I'm not going to take that crap. No, that is not what we do. We were told this, they need to make it right. And even though they didn't make it 100% right, they made it right enough that an extra 4 payments above the 30 I was promised is fine. And I got the additional $300 off the price of this computer. Also fine. Everybody's happy. And we came to an agreement that made both sides happy. See, both sides need to be happy, okay? Both have to, be the winners here. One has to feel like they won, and the other one definitely won, okay? Either way in the end. So I think it went well, and we're now done with this. Comments go down below. I don't know what the hell we're doing for a video next. We'll figure it out. See ya.